All right, all right, all right. I think she's working. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think I did this right. What's going on, guys? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Of course, no one's joining me just yet, right? Just got started. But I will be clipping this and adding it to my YouTube channel as well. So the greetings are for that. Guys, I did I did quite an intense little deep dive on the, as you guys can see, where am I putting it? Right there. I'm putting it right there. The governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, he was the third guy on my list, to be quite honest with you guys. You know what? I think what it was, I was being ageist. I think I was being ageist, if that's a word. But I'll tell you what, man, in the past read, I learned a bunch of new words. So I think I qualify as one to make up a word right now, if that word isn't a real word. But I saw some good stuff. I'll hell, real quick with the introduction is I'm gonna go through Tim Walz, a little deep dive I did on the guy, and if, you know what, it's gonna be a quick one, because if it was a real deep dive, I'd be here for 2-3 hours. The guy's done quite some work in Minnesota. No wonder. And for me, like I said, I was getting ageist with it. I was going for Josh Shapiro because of the much younger, that energy, closer to, I'm gonna say, my generation, my age bracket, and because I was looking at the distance in, let's say, back-to-back wins here. In about 8 years, he's still under 60, or right around there, if you will, depending on his birthday. That part I didn't look up. But with Walz, we're going to run into, yet again, these senior citizens trying to run for president, trying to run the country, when it's time for mojito, take it easy, enjoy the rest. Because again, if we're going with retirement at 65, why are we voting these individuals in at plus 70? I'll even have an open argument for 60s, right? If 65 plus, and he's still got a little energy. But I mean, they have a lot of energy. Don't even go there with that. They have plenty of energy. But if they're 65 plus and they still got a couple extra gases to release, sure, why not? There could be an open argument made there. Again, I was just almost defeated and going with, if it's going to be Biden again, right? We gotta get through and push that ticket forward. So that's what we're going through today. It'll be a quick one, only because, again, if I were to just talk about everything this man's made happen in Minnesota, he needs a whole series. Like, one quick segment isn't gonna do, or one quick hour, if that's how long this goes for, it will not suffice. So getting right into it, check it out. I highlighted the policies that, even for an old school fella, he hooked us up, right? Legalizing marijuana in Minnesota. Because again, 75, 78%, I could be a little bit off on them numbers if you fact check me. Been wanting that to be legal for a while. And I'll even go a step further. Is that still something we should be testing people for? In my line of work, you can't come up positive in a random test with the the test reading THC positive, or I think it's THC, right? But frankly, I know the guy that backs me up. I know him personally. I know he's not fucking around behind the wheel. I know he's not sitting there having himself a little churrito before he jumps on the rig. No, it's treated, and this is also coming from a smoker, it's treated as like that beer that drinker comes home to, that little shot that puts him to sleep, what have you. So is it really something that should still be tested? I mean, for a McDonald's job, and again, I'll go across the board. It starts there, right? We're used to saying that McDonald's jobs is the bottom of the barrel. Minimum wage right now is all right. But from the bottom job, if you will, to the top tier, I don't think Mrs. Harris or even Donald Trump himself, I don't think he should be tested for THC. I think if he needs to wake up in the morning, give himself a little happy, little smoke, little wake and bake, to go hit a little golf course the hell up, by all means. By the time he gets to the situation room, if that's his job again, I think he's good. And besides, he's getting driven around, so he's all right. So it doesn't seem like something that anyone should be tested for. President of the United States of the America, down to, if you will, a stupid-ass podcaster trying to get it going. That's my 2 cents on that. So he legalized marijuana in Minnesota. Minnesota? What's the cost of living out there? What's going on? One of them that's really controversial. I had a different video saved for my opinion of this particular subject, but since we're talking about Mr. Walz, and we're going to just give it all to him, passed a law protecting abortion. Seriously. To me, it just seems so freaking caveman to still be arguing about this. To still be like, we don't want to. No, enough. I think that shouldn't really be even a topic anymore. Think about, and I always go back to trucking because that's my main squeeze, right? But think about us arguing right now over, why do you have to have a driver's license? Who cares? You know how to drive. You've never been in an accident. Yeah, but if you haven't had a license for 10 years, that doesn't mean that's okay. No, you need to go get a driver's license and be compliant on the road. That's how ridiculous this argument sounds to me. Well, obviously, we're not going to argue about, do you have or not have a license? You don't have a license, you're in big trouble, bro. If you're on the road. No need to argue about that. No need to have an open discussion, open mind. Think about it this way. Think about it. No, bro, look, you need a driver's license. Be quiet. That's it. So when it comes to abortion rights, oh, they shouldn't be allowed to. Bro, shut up. Yeah, they should. These ladies should be able to decide everything about that. The whole thing belongs to them. Now, in a situation where it's, he passed the, I guess you can run to Minnesota and get help if your state isn't providing the help. If your state's and it's not allowing you to get help, treatment, or whatever it is that you need, you could run to Minnesota, no problem. I don't think the Republicans got nothing against that. And they might have this, he's allowing, baby murderers to go get an abortion over there. That, you stop it. You got to cut it out. Most of that rhetoric comes from Fox, right? Where they have a certain base and they're trying to anger the other side about these ladies having a right over their own bodies. It's like, why are we still arguing about that? Why are we still cavemen, still figuring out what the hell, bro? It's up to the lady. And if she wants to get help, or if she needs to get help, or if she decides to not go through with the pregnancy for whatever reason, they want to close it in on, rape, incest. No, if this chick had a one night stand with a vato she can't stand, she should be able to be like, oh man, fuck. Plan B didn't work. I've got to go get treatment. I've got to go get help. It's not just for those reasons. They have all the right in the world to decide. What if it's a married couple that if, you know, the wife gets pregnant, she can literally die. No, dude, she needs help. So we give her the help. Duh. Like, that one's easy, but it is a right that he passed. That's why I put in my notes. I don't think the Republicans have much of a comeback there. They might throw in the, you're killing babies. No, you're not. But I'll move it along because I could be there too for a whole ass fucking. We could have a series on that topic. A matter of fact, protecting trans individuals. Here's where I'm still thinking: why are we still arguing about this? Why can't we just let be everybody that wants to be everything they want to be? I don't get it. Here in America, I was told to put my right hand over my heart, right, to pledge the flag that was going to allow us to be all we wanted to be. You can't pick and choose, bro. If this guy wants to be all the girl that he wants to be, let his ass be. That's the part that we're still arguing about that. And again, the making that treatment, like, I don't know, man. This guy was telling me that they zap you. That treatment, I don't know much about, but he stopped it. Good. This is a leave them alone situation is what it is. But he took care of it in that state. The other one that got me was banning books. Bro, here I am. I'll speak for myself. Here I am doing all this research, digging up what I can, digging up what comes up, finding out for myself what this particular individual is about, right? What banning books is about is literally hiding information from you. Why ban the book? Again, I don't necessarily read the Bible. I probably should pick up on a few chapters on it or two. But just because I don't read it doesn't mean I want to ban the book and no one should read it. I don't read the Quran. I don't think that you shouldn't read the Quran just because I don't read it. I don't believe that I should go ban that book and you don't get to read it just because I don't read it. So this is that. I can't believe we had to pass laws to affirm that. Laws to just cut it out, bro. Stop it with that trying to uneducate us. Because again, I'm not educated on the Quran, but if I wanted to, I'd go pick one up and Shinga will start reading it. But he took care of that too. Well, what I'm getting at here is what if all I did was listen to Fox, for example? Sorry to have to throw Fox under the bus here, but actually, I'm not that sorry. But what if all I did was watch Fox? And then they said stuff like, oh, radical left. Oh, this monster. Giving, oh man, I'm telling you guys the notes. Free education, right? Under 80 grand, I think it was. I didn't put too much of a note there, but the word free ought to get you locked in. Free meals for all students in the state. What a monster. How dare he? The part I skipped through, and it's a point to make. This morning I was like, here we go with another old school. Because, again, here we go with another old school. I let that ageist sitch kind of, I've been a part of the 49% here for a cold minute. I was a part of the I want an open convention type. Why just, and I guess That's how they do it. Here I am trying to fucking make a difference. No, we should let her speak. See what you got. Again, you come to realize, damn, it should be her. It sucks that it has to be that way, but it's true. Donald Trump wouldn't have anything educated to talk bad about Kamala Harris, even if she has some bad points to be spoken about. He would just trash that shit and it sound completely horrible. Like, damn, dude, you just suck. Even at speaking. So good that it's that candidate, right? It feeds into the identity policy side of things. But not necessarily that I'm wrong or that I'm against it. I just wanted there to be a runoff. I wanted there to be a little race between the parties and us kind of shacking it out. I was a part of the 49% there, right? No open convention. It's her, and now she's out here picking her running mate. In that front, I'm a part of the 49% too that was like, oh, please don't pick another old school individual. Because I'm also trying to prepare for that of the next W that I would like to get in the following race. Because of course, right, she's gonna run. She's in a good age bracket too. But that makes kind of like what Obama did to Biden happen again. You gotta wait it out, old school, because Obama's doing great. He's gonna run again. You're the VP. We'll see where you are when that dust settles. He just got older, and then we skipped a beat with going the other way, and then anyway, it just feels like Mr. Walz would probably come across the same story we literally just saw unfold, and then when he's in his 80s, calling it off and handing it over to his VP, which again, it should be Shapiro. Because then again, if you're looking at, he's also going to be in his 60s by then, which again, that's where the open argument comes into play. I think I'm still okay with 60s. I'm still okay 60s plus, because they still might have some spunk behind it. They still might have some fire burning, but not necessarily that. It's not a good. It's not that it's not a good pick. Harris Walz, I'm looking at it. It is a good pick. It does balance that out. It does make, let's say, if again me with what I've been watching, if I were to look at it, it makes Walz the progressive one. Only because if there's progressive in Mrs. Harris, it has to be formal. It has to be educated. She can't lose it. She can't wall out. Now, in educated, oh my God, I say this to my wife all the time. Like, you talk trash educatedly. You email the fuck out of somebody, and it's rude and it's mean, but HR looks at it and it's like, I got nothing. I can't. I can't even write this up. We need to keep that, right? We need to keep that. And Mrs. Harris has got that. She's got to where she could be low blowing, like just right in the jewels, Donald Trump, and he doesn't have a comeback. He will not have a comeback. Mark my words, y'all. Mark my words. Okay. Now, since I've given you the little rundown, I guess, my rundown of Mr. Walz here, looking at his bullet point, right, what I knew before, Walz, 60-year-old, Minnesota State University educated, the fact that they called him the happy warrior, no matter what, not that I cared too much about Hulk Hogan being on Trump's rally that one time, but I'm still a wrestling fan. I grew up watching wrestling, right? So when you say, oh, yeah, the Ultimate Warrior kicked Hulk Hogan's ass a few times. It's all over YouTube. Rerun them. So the Happy Warrior gave me that vibe too. So I was like, he could be on the list. When I ran my list, and I was hopeful, right, that I would get my way. I ran it based on age. Ran the bullet points, understood what each candidate was about, but he does have the squeaky of the cleanest of all three top contenders. He does have the more establishment, like it's almost obvious, right? Like they say, everywhere he goes, the people love him. Yeah, I was looking for someone a little more controversial, like a guy who wears tennis shoes with his suits. It just, again, it's more of a let the new generation come into a good position of power, a good position of play. Like when they gave Harris the VP. Not that I was right away on board. Not a big fan of some California policies that she passed. Truancy one for starters. But I got behind the ticket as far as because she's much younger. She could bring that crowd. She could bring that crowd in. That's kind of where I was hoping that the VP would do for her. Whereas with Walz, I don't see that they lost that crowd. Even though there is a 49%, if you will, that I'm sure wanted Shapiro. I don't stand alone on that one. But not that it took away, let's say, young voters or voters that were in the Shapiro side of things. Where's the other one? I made a note of it. Yeah, the Happy Warrior, right? He's got a great history. I made that note kind of in a funny tone because, of course, he's got more history. He's older. I think about 10 years or so older than, well, I was comparing it to Shapiro. So, yeah, he's got, I think, 10 years on him. As far as age goes. Oh, and in correction, he did get a law passed for both free school, which I was a little confused on. Was it free scholarships or was it free meals? But it's actually both. So you could go to college under $80 a year, and all students in the state get a meal. That's what I'm saying. Like, what a monster, right? What could Fox possibly? And not to get racial on it, but if you see the ID on the individual, you think they're going to ask for his birth certificate? They're already questioning Kamala. Oh, is she really black? Oh, is she really Asian? Oh, is she really native? Which one is she? Why can't she pick one? Fuck. What are you going to ask of this guy? You're going to ask him for his green card? You're going to ask him for... No, you're not. So, again, the Republicans not having a whole lot of, messing with Mr. Walz. One topic, I think I got time for it. One topic that I didn't want to dismiss in all the research I did was, what could they bring up against him? What can the Republicans bring up against him? Well, there's a few, or there's a bunch of stuff because they get into ouchie, that hurt me type of topics. We could be here all day with them asses. So skipping through all that and getting to something legal important was a DUI. Now, not downplaying a DUI. This is coming from a truck driver. I was for 25 years able to not risk it, to not take a few shots and take the risk and see if I got caught or not. No, that driver's license actually happens to be my major, my college degree. I can't get that without my high school diploma. Or you know what? I think the school said that to a bunch of kids, but I think you can actually get your Class A without a high school diploma. Damn, that's a good one. I should look into that. But it's my moneymaker. It's my career. I'm a truck driver by choice the rest of my life. So no, I'm not going to risk my driver's license in any way, shape, or form. So They could bring that up. The blue side can downplay it. Who hasn't? Well, me, fool. Fuck. And a bunch of truck drivers I know don't risk it. Some of them don't even drink. Some of them rather speed home than have a beer while going home. I know a few that'll have a beer in the car on the way home. You know? Cool. But the ones that are speeding are also breaking the law. They're in a hurry to go play Call of Duty. Fuck, I don't know. But both of those guys are, you know, if they get Kotskis, right? Both of those guys are in big trouble. Either way, the guy that's having a little one skis right there in his lap. Sorry, officer, I was just 2 miles away from home. I thought it'd be all right. No, you're in big trouble, fucker. You're drinking and driving. The other guy blowing through, the fast lane at 75, 80 miles an hour because he just wants to go catch some Call of Duty. Yeah, bro, both of you guys are in trouble. So, not to downplay it, because I know I was able to go a whole ass 25 years without risking it. Mr. Walz himself should have been able to do that bare minimum. Again, I'm considering myself bottom of the barrel here, right? Didn't finish my college, working on it right now as we speak. But what I did finish was truck driving school, and I went to that, and we needed feeding and a fucking life to purchase. So where's it going to come from? It's going to come from truck driving. That being said, I was able to follow that regulation of not driving under the influence. Maybe more so because of my chosen career, but also because of, what if I do kill someone while I'm stupid old drinking and driving? I don't know how many beers Mr. Walz had, but that's the part, like I said, legally that they can dig up on him. The blue side's going to downplay it like, nah, it's not a big deal. Who doesn't? Blah, blah, blah. But they can hang on to that. For the Shapiro side of things is that there's a case. That's probably why they didn't go, right? There's a case where I guess he advocated that it was suicide when in reality I think it was murder, and the candidate up for suspect here was a donor of his. That shit is, again, you got bought off, right? You got paid off, you got purchased. Okay, well, since we're giving Mr. Walz here the benefit of the doubt, the hall pass, the little free skis for drinking and driving back in the 80s. Well, let's say, damn, Shapiro, how broke were you when you took that payoff or what have you? Because, again, then we're just splitting hairs. Wrong is wrong. But in the least amount of wrong, Mr. Walz had it in the bank. A much squeaky little record. That's the bad thing about Shapiro. And again, they'll run with that all day long. They'll run with the fact that he does have, but that's what I'm saying. I did not know that part. And my going with someone like Shapiro did have something to do with a little bit of dirt, right? I don't necessarily need a squeaky clean fella, because we all fuck up. We all have our instances where we make a bad call, make a bad decision. Can't be that defines the rest of you. In 25 years, you guys, I probably got in 2 accidents. But those 2 accidents came at my beginning part of driving career. So at that point, I was a fuck up. At that point, I wasn't going to do shit. At that point, everyone doubted me. At that point, everyone's like, he's just going to be a fuck up. He'll drop. No, about 17 years later, no accidents. I worked at 7, 8 different trucking companies, and knock on wood, right? Because I'm still working for my own company, but I don't want to be a victim to this. I never damaged equipment. I never backed up into anything. I never broke their equipment. I never got in an accident. Thank the good Lord there. So those 2 or 3 instances where legally you'll find documentation. Oh yeah, they paid $11,000 to that accident that you were in when you were backing up the truck at the truck stop. Yeah, man, I backed right into a truck. I was sleepy. I'd been up 20, well, a lot of hours. And so on and so forth. So that can't define my driving career, because what about the other 17 plus years with not a scratch, not a dent? I never even gave these guys a flat tire in their companies. Maybe a flat tire or two, but again, players fuck up, and it happens to the best of us. Even those accidents where I was at fault for being a young cat, staying awake, partying with the fellas, and then thinking I can truck drive no problem. No, lesson learned. Lesson learned. Not drinking and driving, but hanging out, having a good time, staying up late, trying to get 2-3 hours of sleep before I got back on the road. Lesson learned. So again, he doesn't have a squeaky clean, which again at this point, the 49%. Oh shoot, running out of battery. The 49% that I was a part of in this last little bit that I'm going to add, we are the losing of the two, right? Ah, man, we wanted this guy, but no, it's going to be this guy. Okay, no problem. Doing the digging, doing the deep dive, doing the learning gets you to now, okay, bro, now your guy didn't make it, okay? You rub your little woo-woo, you rub your little ouchie because you didn't get your guy, and then you back the ticket you're a part of. You back your side up. I didn't want it to just be Kamala. Right off the bat, I wanted an open convention. It's going to be Kamala, no problem. She's a good candidate. I couldn't get my way with the picking of the VP, no problem. Now it's time to get behind this ticket and get that W. That's what's important here, because the other side isn't advocating anything about there even another chance to vote ever again. So really a big giant, I mean, the left wing and the right wing are part of the same fucking bird, but that wing is lost right now. And hopefully we can bring this back, because look, closing statement. I promise, closing statement. Once Donald Trump is out of the picture, because, oh my God, if he runs again, nah, there wouldn't be a... Anyway, we'll do that math later. But if he loses this time around, which I'll throw in my 2 cents in on that, it's looking a lot like he is, which is a trip. Earlier, before Biden dropped out, the red team thought they had it in the bag. Ooh, beachy old school. He's not even going to be alive by the time the elections come. We got it in the bag. They do the swapperoonie of the gear shifting here in Chinga, and now it's like the blue team's like, oh yeah, we got it in the bag. I think it's still going to be a hell of a election year here. Definitely a hell of an election. But I think once if Donald Trump loses this time around, I don't think he's coming back. I think it'll be it. And if the red side right now with what's going on, they've just promoted Vance into I guess into their ranks. He's got the young thing behind him. I don't agree with any of his politics. I started hearing he was a couch fucker, which I don't even know if that's true. Don't quote me on that. I haven't done a deep dive on Vance, nor do I care if he fucked a couch or not. But he's got that young, and hopefully again, I don't mean to say you guys can't express yourselves, man. I get it, MAGA Republicans, I get it. But maybe we can stop this divisiveness where only they could be in charge. If you can put whatever you want in they. Because this way, the blue side's at least telling you, vote for us. We'll see what we can do about it, but there's definitely going to be another one, 2028. The red team isn't. The red team's saying the complete opposite of that, which is something that's, yeah, he says a bunch of stupid shit, so it's funny. He doesn't mean it. No, I'm not willing to put that to the test. Period. And that the blue side is just making a little more sense. I get it, right? I'd like that little tax break that Donald Trump trickles down to, you know, even small business owners. But I don't think I want that break that much, man. I don't think I want that break that much. I'll leave it at that. You guys, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. If you guys were here, be putting this up on YouTube a little later. And if you can't subscribe, doesn't cost nothing. Put the little bells right there so they can let you know what's going on, when it's going on. Oh, look, it did a little whatchamacallit. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope I see you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.